Well, hello again, sports fans. Sadly, today I have to report the loss of my faithful old Tek-Sumo flying wing. In order to get some more range out of it, I've decided to drop down a prop size from the 9x6 slave fly that I was using to an 8x6 APC style prop. While this certainly does appear to have worked, I had my longest flight to date yesterday. It has affected the launching capabilities. So I clearly needed to adjust the trims, and while I was in the process I thought I'd address the tendency of the Tek-Sumo to drift when it's in balance mode. It tends to go to the right when I take my hands off the stick, which I haven't really thought of as a bad thing, but you can see it demonstrated in this flight I did yesterday where I'm adjusting the antenna and I drift off to the right and eventually finish adjusting the antenna and have to bring it back. And it happens again later in the flight towards the end there, where the video starts to break down and I'm finding it hard to stay on track. So I thought it was about time to do something about that. I decided to do a mechanical reset of all the control surfaces and recalibrate the flight controller. I decided if I was going to fly out to the absolute limit of the video, it would be better if it was going straight while I was messing around with the antenna, as I was here. So I did the adjustments overnight, and today is about throwing it up and retrimming it to fly straight and level and testing the functions. I thought I'd put in roughly the same amount of reflex as I had on the previous settings, but after the first launch it was apparent I needed a lot more elevator. So some adjustments to the sub trim and a bit more mechanical adjustments was done, and had my second attempt, which also didn't go very well. A little bit better, but not enough elevator again. The plane's not being damaged, but there is a fair bit of grass wrapping around the prop that I've got to clean out. So third attempt, still more elevator. I'm just cleaning a bit of grass out that's managed to get into the vertical fins. The wind's a bit gusty and all over the place, so but I'm waiting for a favourable direction and throw it up again. Things go a little bit better this time. It actually gets airborne, though it's immediately apparent that it does still require a lot of trim. I'm holding in a lot of aileron and elevator just to keep it in the air, so I've focused on trying to gain some altitude so I can start doing a little bit of trimming with a little bit of room for error. The aileron trim is so far out it just seems to want to roll over on its back, and I'm having a hard time keeping it level, so I'm focusing on just trying to put enough trim in to get it to fly reasonably level, and then hopefully be able to do some elevator trimming. The new prop also reacts differently speed-wise in relation to the throttle position, so I'm having to learn that as well. Anyway, it was a little bit of a battle, but one I'm sure we've all been through before. So I'll just fast forward through the next couple of minutes while I got it sorted out to the point where it was able to fly reasonably straight and level without too much effort on my part. And then I transferred the new trim settings to the mixer. So I decided to test the balance mode first, so I get it flying reasonably straight and level, and then flick the switch, and she just starts diving for the ground, and I've still got my finger on the switch, but I switch it the wrong way, and it's down on the ground before before I know what's happened. So here it is again, a bit more slowly. the flight mode's controlled by a three-way switch, and I've switched it from manual to balance mode, which is the middle position of the switch. And as soon as it starts diving for the ground, I decide to switch back to manual, but I switch it into return to home by mistake. And return to home doesn't allow me any manual control at all, so by the time I realise what's happening, it's just too late. It's gone in very, very hard. So she's gone down in a creek bed not too far away. It's the breeding season here, and the local magpie thinks he owns this piece of the strip. I could give him some lessons in being pissed off at this stage though. So as I get close, I can see the wingtips sticking up out of the grass, and it doesn't actually look too bad despite how hard it went in, but as soon as I get close, I realise that it just is completely smashed to bits. The fuselage has just come apart, the wings are ripped out for about the 6th or 7th time, and the foam is all mushy, so it's just really beyond hope of repair, I think, at this time. And so I'm forced to bid a fond farewell to the old faithful Tek-Sumo. I've ordered another one from Hobby King, and hopefully the electronics will survive and be able to be transferred. I plan on making the fuselage big enough to accommodate a larger battery this time, so who knows what future long-range FPV missions the new one will go on.